Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, here for On the Rocks radio show, where celebrities and cocktails mix tonight. We have the cast of The Diary of Anne Frank at the Dory Theater with Keith Coogan, whom you know and love from Adventures in Babysitting, The Fox and the Hound, and Don't Tell Mama the Babysitter's Dead. We have actress and singer Raquenel from WeTV's My Life is a Telenovela. Her life has been a telenovela. Also, bringing the Latin heat is Emiliano Torres from Justified and Shooter, with actress Tasha Dixon, also Miss Arizona USA. Hello! With their director, On the Rocks regular Stan Zimmerman from Golden Girls, Gilmore Girls, and yes, Roseanne. Wah wah. So raise a glass and let the show begin.
Thank you for being.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you from Sunset Gower Studios in the heart of Hollywood, where I drink with your favorite celebrities and we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and that's about it. So pop a cork, pour a glass, lean back, and enjoy On the Rocks every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh my lord, it is going to be a bumpy night. We're already refilling vodka around here, that's all I know. Buttons and bows and pantyhose On the Rocks, where we're too glam to give a damn. I hate it when you offer someone advice on their mustache and then all of a sudden she's not your friend anymore. Like, what gives? Thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love you too. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. If drunk texting was a sport, I'd be an Olympian. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Universal Broadcasting Network, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, Satchel, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. And of course, we are on Facebook Live, on Hillcrest Social in San Diego, True FM in Ohio, and nationally on Bear World Magazine. Roar! Check out my weekly movie news, movie reviews, and celebrity interviews. This week, Top Gun 2 is postponed for a whole year. I bet they had to see if Val Kilmer could get the time off of Applebee's. And this week also...
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Poor Val. Poor Val. Yeah. Also, Elsa is gay. Rumors are that Frozen 2 will feature a same-sex love interest for Elsa. I feel bad for you, Elsa, because we know when a lesbian gets mad at you, they never let it go. Get it? Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Stan's just looking at me with this, like, this. Oh, Lord.
stare.
Oh, God. Get funnier, Alexander. Also, Woody Allen's latest film may not see the light of day because Amazon Studios has shelved it indefinitely, and now it's going to go to court. Did you know that?
I did not. Thank you for telling me.
Where
Whole
more
movie.
people will see it than if it was released regularly. No, I'm kidding.
I wonder how many people would go see it with all the controversy and all that. But Selena Gomez is in it, so all the Gomez-alites would go
Kevin
see it.
Spacey's latest movie made about, what, $600?
Yes, in the whole week. Now, granted, it was only in 30 theaters, but still. And it was probably like his mom going over and over to see it. Gotta support my son! Hashtag, many hashtags we could do for that one. I will be quiet. For our audio listeners, you can check out the video on Facebook, on The Rocks Radio Show, YouTube, and of course the Hillcrest Social app, which you can download for free today. My mom, Mama Rose, is in the chat room on ubnradio.com and Facebook. Ask her your questions, and she will ask it here, and I will answer it on the air. Please keep her busy. She's next to the vodka, and I don't need her drunk tweeting and getting a show canceled.
Again.
Again.
Not the first time, huh?
Drunk mama.
Drunk mama. Hello.
Hashtag drunk mama.
That's how I was born. Okay. Hello to our engineer, Kurt. Kurt, thank you so much for getting a haircut.
No problem.
Yes.
Kurt.
He looked like Ellen DeGeneres last week. Like, he had so much hair. What's going on, Kurt?
You're really picking on the lesbians today, aren't you?
I know,
They're my friends.
They're your peeps.
Hello, they get a whole, like, Disney movie now. We got LeFou and Beauty and the Beast. I don't think that's fair. Kurt, do you have a pun for us? You're so punny.
I always have a pun.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
I love puns.
Make it. Oh, God.
I
Don't encourage
I love
him.
him. I can't help
Pun,
it.
Every week.
pun,
Yeah.
pun,
Bring it, bring it, bring it.
There we go.
All right, so I was wondering all night what happened to the sun, and then it dawned on me.
That's
Wow.
no, that's
Not
good.
give yourself, no, that is not good, Emiliano. Do you see what happens when you give straight white people like a moment in entertainment? It all goes down the tubes. That's why we need to hire Van Frank. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air, Facebook On The Rocks Radio Show. Subscribe to us, like I said, on YouTube because that's a thing that you need to do. I've been told to get my YouTube numbers up. Find us on the web, ontherocksradioshow.com with links to everything. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceanera, bris. I don't care. I will show up. Info at ontherocksradioshow.com. theatrshow.com. I officiated
Have
a
you
wedding.
done a wedding?
I do many weddings. I just did one for a really, really nice couple. I took the spotlight, of course.
A straight couple?
No. So gay.
No,
So
okay.
gay. It was a bear and an otter, literally.
That's hot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where was it?
They had it downtown in Santee Alley. I guess they have all of those rentable, like, it was beautiful once you got past, like,
had me
the
at
fake
Santee
Louis
Alley.
Vuittons. Yeah.
And who would you want to officiate at your wedding?
Patty LuPone.
Okay.
Ah!
Done. I'll call her right now.
Actually, I would
Make a
like
call.
you to write the vows, though, Stan.
I'm writing them right now. Okay.
I can imagine. It's like, I
In
do
my
vow
spare
to.
time,
I
yeah.
do vow to. Listeners, you've been asking about Glitter Bomb, and yes, it is official. My new national TV talk show will premiere September 20th with a full season on LA TV. Check your local listings, pay your cable bill, and I will be in your living room. I'm so excited. Yeah, we're
Alexander, you don't need guests in your show. I mean, by
You
your
are
own,
the
yeah, you're a talk show.
No, because for Glitter Bomb, I have to share with our good friend Enrique.
I know.
And
What
Patrick
is this-
Gomez.
What is this glitter bomb?
So look, it's there's the poster. It's me and two other. It's kind of like the gay
Three
Latin
hot guys,
view.
yeah.
Patrick.
Oh, nice.
We filmed the whole season. We're doing a fashion show special, but Patrick Gomez is senior editor at Entertainment Weekly, doing the fall TV issue right now. And Enrique is a telenovela and reality TV star. He was in a reality TV show with.
That's how I met Raquenel through
Exactly.
Enrique.
And I met them both. You are actually
Exactly.
responsible for Glitter Bomb because I met Enrique at the release party.
And why am I not on the show?
Exactly.
Exactly.
should be
Oh
on the
my
show.
God.
Yeah,
Special
I need
guest
to be on the show.
appearance?
Yeah. Do you let
Can you
white
give him a
Jewish
recurring-
guys on the
Just
show?
saying.
Maybe
No.
a recurring
Not
role.
at all.
Now it comes out.
What about Beauty Queens? I love Miss Glitter
Actually,
Bomb.
we had Miss USA from 2014.
Nice.
We interviewed. We have season 2 coming up.
I'm
So
saying, yes,
everybody. We were actually told that the test audiences thought we were too white. I'm like, hello. Like,
What
what,
does that
what do you want me
mean?
to do? I don't know. I'm like a Twinkie. I'm white on the inside, brown on the outside. Cannot speak Spanish. Anyway, On the Rocks is on the road. This weekend, I'm the MC for Out at the Fair, New Mexico State Fair in Albuquerque, September 9th. And I'm on the Pride float the day before for the city. I guess over 500,000 people are on the whole parade
Is
route.
this your first float? There you go.
Whoa, what kind
There's
of
a
show?
setup.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I've been on many floats.
I
I'm famous.
want to be in a parade. It's my dream since I was a child.
Stan,
to be in a
I can make
parade.
that happen.
Make it happen.
Let's do
When
it.
I was in
You gotta get the
Detroit,
wave.
I
You
wanted
gotta get the wave.
Like this.
I desperately wanted to
There
be in
you
the.
Oh, you put some shoulder into
Yeah.
it, girl.
She knows.
Yeah, you should be on
Because
a,
Detroit had the big Hudson's Thanksgiving parade, and I would watch it. I just desperately wanted to be in it. So
It's so fun because everybody's just having a good time. They wave at you even though they don't have any clue who you are. You usually keep a little bottle of something.
Really?
Bottle-
Okay.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. In fact, if you're in Palm Springs Pride this year, I
invite
can
me.
arrange it for
I
you to
always
be on
want
our
you to
Glitter
bring
Bomb.
me down to one of your
Yes.
events.
Well, come to Albuquerque this weekend. Well, I know you're going
I
to
will
be
be
busy.
in Orlando, actually Mount Dora, at the Senflow Film Festival.
With Miss Mindy.
Sterling.
Multi-Emmy nominated.
Well, I got her first Emmy nomination
Yes, you
with my
did.
web series, Sex and Execs.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
So how do you like that?
But if you are in New Mexico, come see me September 9th. Go to outatthefair.com for more info. It's my first time in Albuquerque. I don't know what to expect. Is it like boots and Indians or like Tex-Mex? Like, what is it?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah.
Are there my people there? Am I going to be the only gay there?
No, they're.
I'm
your
sure they're
people
there.
are everywhere.
I'm sure
They're
they're-
everywhere.
Yeah.
They're in the closet like,
That's
"Woo."
what Grindr's for. Okay.
It's not Texas.
Oh, Stan.
I went to,
Let's go there. Why
I went to
not?
Illinois and like
What happened there? There's 3 people.
Literally, there was 4 people. It was like, bloop.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
That's
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
And,
Really?
And no faces.
and there wasn't
right?
4 teeth among the 4 of them. I
Oh,
have
no.
to tell you that. I went to my first Red Lobster in Illinois.
And what'd you think
That
of
was
that?
like the highlight of their life. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it was okay.
What city in Illinois?
Decatur?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It was near Decatur. It wasn't even Decatur. It was
Decatur adjacent.
it was adjacent
What
to
were you doing
cornfield.
there? Oh, a blind date, huh?
Seeing somebody.
He was blind and toothless. Also, next week, New York. I'm coming to you, New York Fashion Week. My Glitter Bomb co-host and I will be on hand for the fashion designers of Latin America Fashion Show lineup September 10th, 11th, and 12th. Head to uptownfashionweek.com for more info. We will be there with cocktails and cameras. We are filming a Fashion Week special. Kurt, go ahead and show the promo.
Hello, Glitterati. I'm Patrick Gomez.
And I'm Alexander Rodriguez.
And I am Enrique Zapeni. Get ready because we're coming to New York Fashion Week.
That's right. We are doing a Glitter Bomb special, and we'll be bringing you all the insights from fashion designers of Latin America, spring, summer 2019.
Oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited. So head to the website on the screen for all the details. See you in September.
But until then, keep calm and glitter bomb! Woohoo! I'm so excited, and I already have my outfits. I'm just like, how many suitcases do I need to take?
Do you have a stylist?
We
don't
do
need
have a
one.
stylist.
Oh,
No,
cool.
we actually do have a stylist from Men's Warehouse.
But
by
you're
the way.
always
Thank you,
so
Men's Warehouse.
stylish.
Thank
by
you to Men's
yourself.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, but the TV show doesn't want me wearing ties and like my pocket squares.
Why, did it not
and
test well?
And color. No, because they asked like if I was going to a quinceañera.
Too serious?
Too serious.
A funeral?
So they put me in colors. I'm in pastels.
Okay.
You're in pastels?
Pastels on fall?
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, don't put a curvy girl in pastels, girl. Like, just don't do it. But oh well.
How'd you come up with that title? I'm curious.
Curvy girl?
No, Glitter Bomb.
It's actually my idea, by the way.
Love it.
I don't know. We were at the Abbey getting wasted as usual. We're like, oh, let's do the gay view. And I was like, oh, let's call it Glitter Bomb because we dropped the bomb. It's an inclusive show. It's not gay, gay, gay. We literally have interviewed everybody under the sun.
Except
Present
us.
companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
that- I think we
Thank
should
you
all get
for
up and
that.
leave en
Exactly.
masse.
Well, no,
Yeah.
they kind of told us like, here's who's going to be on and blah blah
yeah,
blah. So, but next season we will be making other choices and adding to the great panel. We have Jen Lyon though from Claws. Justina Machado is in it. Very
Love
very
her.
excited. Mindy Sterling actually teaches us how to do
Right.
improv. So I'm very excited. And Christopher Gorham from Insatiable, who
Yes.
was on Ugly Betty.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
a white man with a booty. When he got up, all of us were like, "What was that?"
A lot of squats there. Huh? Okay.
Okay, also, I'm the official MC for Palm Springs Pride again this year on the main stage, the first weekend of November. Make your travel plans and come see me. Plan ahead. It is so much fun. It is the Pride to take your family to. It's nothing but fun. And on Sunday, the Glitter Bomb co-host will be joining me on stage, and I will be in the Pride Parade. Maybe some
It's only 150 degrees, yeah.
No,
So-
but it's in November, so it's perfect
Oh,
weather.
okay.
You can still wear a tank top and a scarf.
Booty shorts.
Booty, well...
That's all I wear, so it's perfect.
I wore shorts for the very first time in
Really?
years. I went to a pool party. Men's Warehouse made me a suit with shorts. It was so cute.
I'd be scared of a pool party. Don't they scare you?
I hate the outdoors
The
and I
whole
hate
thing,
people. So
yeah.
like the two of those together,
Nothing,
no.
not so good.
It was fun because they had unlimited alcohol for us.
Okay.
Yeah. So and there was sights to see. Anyway, let me introduce our panel for tonight from the controversial new production or new retelling of the Diary of Anne Frank. It wasn't until the show until I realized I was dyslexic.
Dyslexic and saying it.
Yeah. I was reaching the Diary of Anne Frank, which was a whole different website, and like all these facts.
I have typed
didn't-
that a few times. Not dairy, diary. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Because
Yes.
like when you
Autocorrect.
overthink, yes, but when you overthink a word that you use all the time, literally this whole week I was like,
Dairy,
diary. Poor Anne Frank. Okay, but this production of Anne Frank at the Dory Theater in Los Angeles is running for 3 weekends. You have to go see it. It features a mostly Latino cast and has received some heated attention to the point that Stan Zimmerman was featured on CNN to give his explanation on this retelling, and we're going to talk about it. We're still going to have a lot of fun. I don't know how much fun you're going to have with Anne Frank, but we're going to do it. Let me introduce Stan Zimmerman, reintroduce Stan Zimmerman. He got his big break as a ballet dancer. Did you guys know that?
I
On Broadway.
did.
Yeah.
On Broadway.
On Broadway
Right.
behind Rudolph Nureyev.
Nureyev. As he told me to call him, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he told you to call
yeah.
him often. Call me Stan.
But no, we were actually told not to talk to him. But he
Really?
did talk to us.
But he talked to
we,
you.
We did get a memo saying do not talk to him. But
Because you guys
I-
talked to him too
ridiculous.
much.
Well, unless he came up to you.
Yeah.
I have to find that memo somewhere.
Now, didn't you kind of get that information when you were on Gilmore Girls, and that didn't happen to be the case? Like you couldn't
What do you
talk to Laura.
I was told not to talk to any of the actors.
That's so ridiculous.
And
You're
there's-
just writing their
Well,
life
there's
stories.
an actor from Gilmore Girls making a documentary right here behind us. Yeah, turn the camera around on you. There you go.
Yeah.
They said don't talk to Laura and she won't talk to you. And I went right up to her and we fell madly in love with each other. And
You guys are,
she's
like, really
fantastic.
close.
She's so beautiful and talented and amazing.
I love her. I just love that pattern on Gilmore Girls. It's
Yeah.
so like Rosalind Russell style. Love it, love it, love it. If you look closely, you can see Stan in films such as The Chosen, Zelig, and Risky Business. He worked in casting before moving to LA, where he's been part of the longest running comedy writing team team, Zimmerman and Berg. Along with James Berg, he's worked on many television series, including, of course, The Golden Girls. Season
Filmed
1
on
of
this
The
lot.
Golden Girls.
Literally here.
Nice.
Right.
I feel the
Full
ghost.
circle.
Yes.
There are many ghosts. In fact, we had a light that burned out right before you got here.
That's
Fame.
B. Arthur.
Yes, it is. She's like, talk about me more. That's my B. Arthur impersonation.
That's it.
That and Brenda Vaccaro, it's the same. Fame, Roseanne, Wanda at Large, and the highly successful 5th season, as we mentioned, of Gilmore Girls. Besides writing and producing many television pilots, they rewrote the Emmy and Peabody award-winning Annie, which I saw religiously over and over with such an amazing cast. Kathy Bates,
Alan Cumming,
Kristen
Kristen
Chenoweth,
Chenoweth, Audra McDonald,
Victor Garber.
Victor Garber.
Oh, yeah, he played Daddy Warbucks.
Yeah.
He plays Daddy Warbucks in West Hollywood on the weekends.
Yeah,
Also, Stan's giving me the looks.
I'm giving you a lot of looks. Oh, there's a picture of which one is up?
That's you with
Barry
and Mindy. Yes.
and Mindy. So there's 2 web series I did for Telefilms.
Skirt Chasers.
With Barry Bostwick and Meredith Baxter.
Do you want to read your own bio?
I
That literally was the next sentence.
Okay.
He also directed Sex and Execs, stars Sandra Bernhard, Olivia D'Abo, Parviz Chena, and of course Mindy Sterling, who received an Emmy nomination for her work on that. Currently working on Silver Foxes, which is a gay man's Golden Girls, with an epic reading that went viral in Stan's house with George Takei, Leslie Jordan, Bruce Valanche, Sherry O'Terry, and Melissa Peterman. I mean, who you get to hang out with is just unbelievable to me. Last year, Stan's benefit reading of Right Before I Go included Ellen Burstyn, Judith Light, Michael Cerveris, Alice Ripley, and Vanessa Williams. I mean, just
Amber Tamblyn. It was
the
crazy.
list went on and on and on.
It kept getting bigger and bigger.
His relationship with the Dory Theater has seen a myriad of great plays starring some of your favorite celebs, from Melissa Peterman to Tony Award winner Marissa
Jared Winokur.
Yeah, and Desperate Housewives, Andrea Bowen, who you bring all these celebrities today.
I bring the most beautiful people in Hollywood
yes,
to you.
you do.
Yes,
Do you ever work with ugly people?
No, they're beautiful inside and out.
No, but that's what I mean. Like every cast is like hot to trot.
They're pretty cute. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you make Emiliano take his shirt off for the audition?
How dare you?
I was like, it's really steamy in the attic. We gotta derope.
On sheer talent alone with this one. Yeah.
I can see his talent from here.
No, wait till you see him. He's actually fantastic. All these actors are, and I feel. Thank you for introducing me to Keith Coogan, who I met here on one of your shows.
We see each other.
And I've been wanting to do a play with him, and this.
When I saw that you were working with him, like my heart was
Doesn't that
warmed.
feel cool when you can
yes.
introduce people? Some people
like
get
you
very.
And me and Enrique
I
and
know.
Raquenel.
Some people they get intimidated, but I think it's so wonderful to have all these wonderful connections and find different ways to be with people artistically, and here we are.
I love it. Let's introduce who you have brought today. Raquenel. Raquenel is returning to On the Rocks, a singer and actress from Mexico who has successfully crossed both U.S. and foreign markets with roles in TV and film, most recently playing herself in one of my favorite shows. In fact, the pilot is for free on YouTube, WeTV's My Life is a Telenovela. Some of the most fun. It's like Housewives meets Desperate Housewives meets, like, it's everything. I love it. Co-starring also my co-host from Glitter Bomb, Enrique Sabene. Raquenel started her career at a very young age, singing in a girl group with Gloria Trevi, which that's all we'll say. Girl. Raquenel has hit the stage this last year in a number of productions, including a Spanish version of Grease, playing Rizzo. She continues to release new music to her avid fans. Please welcome Raquenel.
Oh, thank you. Hey!
So sexy.
I give an applause by my. Oh my God.
There were
I know. I'm watching your beautiful photos.
Gorgeous.
Sing a song from Greece. There are worse things I could do.
Don't put her on the spot.
I know.
No, it's
she's
good,
a
it's good.
performer.
Oh, she's ready. She's
That's
ready.
such a beautiful song.
I have put her on the
Thank you,
spot
yeah.
at the Abbey, at Rage.
We were writing a sequel to Grease 79 with Didi Khan. And we were going to use
She'll say yes.
and we were all going to use like 70s music and see the whole cast
I
come
love that.
back with Craig Zaden, who unfortunately died recently.
Yeah.
But it would have been, I still want to make it. I think it would be a really cool musical.
Cosas peores puede haber que creer en el amor, que salirse a divertir, que tener un novio o dos. Y si hablan mal de mí, les diré que soy así. Yo respeto la amistad. Soy sincera, soy leal. Tan, tan.
I love it.
So I think you have 3 new fans here.
Yes.
No idea.
Stan, you still have time to make Diary of Anne Frank into a musical.
Someone did attempt it, and it was
Everything's like really.
It was met with
legato and quiet.
Yeah,
Like,
It was
how do you
not
do a
well
musical?
received.
It was not well received.
It was met in a dark alley.
Yeah.
There's no tap numbers in this one. Also returning to On the Rocks is Keith Coogan. Born into Hollywood as the proud grandson of Jackie Coogan, one of my favorite actors, of course, Uncle Fester from Addams Family. Keith picked up the acting bug while watching Sesame Street when he was 5 years old. After securing a talent agent, he was featured in over 100 national television commercials. Then over the course of 4 decades, performed as a regular in 3 series, including The Waltons, 3 after-school specials, 4 pilots, 4 movies of the week, numerous guest appearances on your favorite TV shows.
Just reading
from
my
the
bio
70s
word
and
for
80s.
word.
No, I've had it my own
Wait,
way.
I want to know
This
if you know.
sounds vaguely
do you
familiar.
know all 3 after-school specials?
Of course.
Name the titles.
Rascal, which was
I love that.
Rascal was great, little raccoon thing.
Okay.
Thing nearly bit me. Over the Limit, which was one of Sam Rockwell's first jobs.
What
It
was
drunk
over? What
driving.
was over the limit?
Drunk driving.
They
Was
were
Sam
over the
Rockwell?
limit. They were
Over the limit. They were over the limit.
Oh, they drove over the limit.
They were trying to pin it on the poor kid in town, the white
they always
trash
do
kid.
that, yeah,
Wow.
okay.
And then I did. Come
on, you can do
The
it.
one with Elizabeth. What the heck was the third
One
one
more.
called? It was
was
McCarthy era thing, but my grandmother had been through McCarthy era, and I was trying to grow apples without alar. And they were
you
calling
know,
me
that's
a
a
commie.
problem.
because I wanted
Those
to-
apples
yeah, this
without
was not a
alar.
really
That is worth an
deep
after-school
problem.
special.
I think we need to bring those back,
I think
right?
we should.
We
I
really
was addicted
should,
to those
actually.
after-school specials.
Really?
They were always so great. The one with Helen Hunt, where she freaks out on drugs and she runs out the window, like from the second story.
It happens.
It
It happens.
wow.
Thank you for having us back, Alex.
Yes,
Thank
of course. Of course, you sang live at the Oscars.
Yes.
Fox and the Hound, Adventures in Babysitting, Book of Love, Cheetah, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Toy Soldiers, and of course, this last year you were in Lifetime original movie, A Tale of Two Corys, which is very personal to you. I loved that you did that. And on what would have been your grandfather's 99th birthday, you married your sweet wife, Pinky, which we love her. I'm so mad she's not here.
Love you, dear. Love you, darling.
And you guys literally have taken pictures with every single star, even if they've passed on. You're still
tried.
there.
You tried.
You got the shovel. You're like, come on, we got to finish our collection.
I'm not. I don't. I'm very shy about it, and unless there's someone really kind of deep cut or like an obscure
Deep
like
cut?
C-list. Yeah, like a C-list
That
actor.
sounds like an after-school special. Deep cut.
Aaron Eckhart before Aaron Brockovich. If you knew his name before Aaron Brockovich, those kinds of actors where you can see him around
Yeah.
the Ileanas.
And what do you
and
say? How do you get them?
Can
to
I get
do
a
it?
picture?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You just keep asking, and 90%
Well, and your
of the
wife
time
has
it's sure.
too, and
She's amazing.
She's so sweet and
Yeah.
so adorable.
Non-crowded events, you try to find smaller screenings,
Yeah.
book signings. We got Cameron Diaz at a book signing. Sweetest Punch.
And do you introduce yourself and say, "Hi, I'm"?
If it's tangential, or I've worked with them, or they've worked with family or something, I may.
Find a
But it's their
connection.
moment. It's their
Yeah,
book signing. What are you
yeah.
going to go up? Me, I, me,
Yes.
me. So you try
In
not
this
to.
town?
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
maybe
Do you
yes.
know the room?
And out.
Well,
Blah,
welcome
blah,
back,
blah, my
Keith
line.
Coogan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Making her On the Rocks debut is Tasha Dixon, actress, writer, and TV host, seen in numerous TV shows and films, professional improv comic who has worked with legends like Tommy Chong, you guys. Previously won the titles Miss Arizona USA and Miss Hispanic Arizona USA. A screenplay she wrote about her time in the pageant world and speaking out on CNN about our good friend Mr. Trump walking in the women's dressing room in Miss USA is currently in development. And YouTube those clips because you're on CNN on fire, girl.
That's right.
She's also collaborating with accomplished New York playwright to turn her pageant experience into an off-Broadway production set to hit New York, January 2019. Please welcome Tasha Dixon! All right, last but certainly not least, how do you make the Diary of Anne Frank sexy? Actor Emiliano Torres. That's how. Born and raised in Oakland, California, he found himself any excuse to get on stage and entertain. He began his acting career by receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree in theater from California State University, Long Beach, which is such a great school. And even though he has worked on such films as Foster Boy, Street Kings, The Revenant, and the family comedy Christmas in Compton, he prefers acting on the stage. I'm sure you like the paycheck from the movies more. Recent television credits include a recurring guest star role on Shooter with My Boyfriend Ryan Felipe, Two Broke Girls, Raising Hope, Weeds Justified, NCIS Los Angeles, and CSI. Pursuing his career in Los Angeles means being apart from his family in Oakland, and he remains very close to his mom, which I think is so cute, Muñeca, who has fueled his dreams. I love that so much. Please welcome Emiliano Torres.
Thank you for having me. And I love Alex, how you and your mother work together.
Oh, she gets paid. No, so she's great, and we have that same kind of like connection. She is the Mama Rose. Like when I'm done working, she's like, "No, you're going to work a little bit harder," like, which everybody always needs. Okay, so here's how we're going to run tonight. We are going to talk about the show. We're going to talk about the concept. We're going to talk about your individual roles, and then we're going to get to know you individually as well. So just to set the tone for everybody, Stan, what is the concept behind this production, and what is it that you are trying to say?
Oh, geez.
Just to start off really
yeah,
easy.
something really light.
Yeah.
I've told the story many times, but let's hear it again.
Yes.
So I woke up one morning and I saw a CNN report about a Jewish woman who got connected with, through a priest, a Latina mom with 2 daughters, and her husband went in to fill out papers to become legal through ICE, and he never came back. And I'm sure, like everyone in this room, the whole zero tolerance, separating kids from their families was just, I felt so helpless. I couldn't do anything. When I heard this story, I didn't realize that there were safe houses actually in LA, in the city that I live in. That was kind of shocking to me. And
we figure LA is so progressive and everybody's welcome, and that's not the case.
No, at all. And so immediately the word safe house, I thought of The Diary of Anne Frank. And then something went off in my head, and I thought, what if I did that play? And what about casting everyone in the attic with Latinx actors? I'm like, that sounds pretty insane. So I called a couple friends and I said, is this weird or what is this? And everyone was like, the minute I said it, the hairs on their arms stood up. And they said, you have to do this. Stop all your other readings. Do this play now. I had the Dory Theater booked for the first 3 weekends in September. And I thought, I can't get this together that fast.
You got it together so quickly because you had told me about the idea. And the next thing I know, there it is.
Because of everything that was happening, I just felt now was the time I have to tell this story. But how do I find all these actors? Luckily, I have an amazing casting director, Julie Gale, and she just said, you have to do this. Let's do it now. Roll up her sleeves. Hopefully we can find these actors. Luckily, I mean, look at what
Amazing.
Yeah, enough said with this group. I feel very fortunate, and I wanted to also tell the story before the November elections. I felt it was important. And, news stories come and go so quickly because media just chews them up. And this one, there are still so many kids out there, especially kids under 5, that are not with their parents. And that just seems so insane. And that our government purposely chose to do this to so that other families wouldn't come to America. And to me, America was about everyone. You're supposed to come here for a better life. And obviously the parallels are not the same as the Holocaust, but there are enough safe houses is a parallel that I found. And I had been to the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. And I got the rights to the play, and we just came together and we were rolling up our sleeves and doing it.
So what do you want the audience to walk away understanding, gaining from this retelling with a Latin cast?
Growing up Jewish, having a bar mitzvah, I was always taught about the Holocaust, but that the thought of never again. And yet here we are, and it's again. So before it gets to the point of hurting people away, but already we're at the point of putting kids in cages and sleeping on the floor and having numbers. I want people to know about the story of Anne Frank. And the shocking thing was when we started auditioning kids, they came in. Genesis, who got the part, is 15 years old, and she didn't know the story of Anne Frank.
I cannot believe that, because when I went to school, it was required reading.
Me too. So I just assumed, crazy me, that it was still required reading, part of the curriculum in schools.
That scares me, by the way.
And it's not. And the New York Times did a study that came out in April that said that people thought it was either like 200 years ago, or they didn't even know what it was. And so I think it's important to tell the story, but I think it's also really interesting as a theater person, which theater is art, to bring this community together with this story and have people like great art. You interpret it the way you're going to interpret it, but to bring it to a new audience and start talking about it again. And we didn't expect the reaction to be the way it was, but it is provoking a discussion, and art can provoke. So I want people to be talking about it. I brought this wonderful cast to the Holocaust Museum in LA, which I had not been to. I'd been to the Museum of Tolerance, but not the Holocaust Museum.
I've been to the Museum of Tolerance, but I have not. It's
exactly.
in my backyard. Yeah,
right there.
It's
free.
There, yeah.
You must go. And we went, and it was a very emotional experience for all of us. And we got to meet an actual Holocaust survivor who lived like 10 blocks from the Anne Frank house when he was very, very little. And it's just an important story that people must know. And so I'm hoping that people will come with an open heart and they can learn about her and talk about her and make sure it does not happen again.
Well, I love that you are reintroducing it. It's like a play like Our Town and Miracle Work. You're like, oh, somebody else is doing a production.
It's a beautifully written play. And we're doing the new version that was done in 1997 that Natalie Portman did on Broadway. And they had, so her father, luckily survived. And the character of Meep in the play, who was helping keep them up in the annex, found the diary, gave it to the father. It's an extraordinary story. You cannot believe that this little girl from 13 to 15 wrote these such profound words. And then he found these writers to adapt it into a play and was really very hands-on. And so some of it he did not want to be in the play. When they did the 97 version, they were allowed to use other versions, other parts of the diary, which she talks about her feelings towards her mother, which as teenagers you feel good and bad about your parents, and you complain about it, and she did. And she also talked about her sexuality as she was a young girl starting to feel things, and what it's like to kiss guys.
Well, and that's what makes the story so human, is that human aspect of it. And in researching this for today, when we see a Holocaust movie, it's like a 2-hour movie or a 3-hour movie, and then, okay, it stays with us, but then we move on from our day. To imagine somebody living like this for such a long period of time,
2 years.
Day in, day out, just boggles my mind.
It is shocking, but until like the Parkland kids, and we were aware of them, and I don't know about you, but I was so shocked at how eloquent they were. And then suddenly the parallels to they were the same age as someone like her. Kids are very, and even more today I feel, are very smart and are able to articulate what they see. And actually the girl that plays Anne's sister went to school at Parkland.
Oh, wow.
So we have that connection. And she's also Jewish and Latina. So when people...
Wait.
I know it's
that doesn't exist.
People think
I've
it's
never met a Latin Jew.
well, we got.
What do they do at the holidays?
We did get a lot.
Light 8 pinatas. Like what?
A lot of good food. I got a lot of blowback from people that said like, how can you cast this kind of cast? And I'm like, well, who's to say who's Jewish? Is it only to be played by Dutch white Jewish people? I mean, and the play had been done, it was translated into Spanish in 1955. It was done in Spain in 57. So why not? Why not?
Now, you guys coming into this show, I mean, what was your first thought when you were approached by this? Because, I mean, was you like, oh, naturally, or did it give you a little trepidation? Were you like, whoa, what the heck is this?
Oh, no, yes, genius. Let's do this. When we open, this is amazing. And he, I think Stan also was like, nah, I don't. He had this really bold, great idea and an interesting way to pull it off. And so we've just kind of been working hard at doing that. And we can't really wait to share it with people at this stage.
We're at that weird stage like we've been doing them in my living room. And now we're on the stage rehearsing it. But now you have to add the extra little ingredient of the audience. And how are they going to respond? Because it is a different telling of it. And you have to come see it. I don't want to say too much, but how the story unfolds. And I'm interested in feedback from people.
But there had to be some fear in taking on a project like this because it is so different. You had to have thought about some of the kickback that has happened.
Well, when I spoke out on CNN, I got kickback of my own. So part of the reason why I spoke out was I actually had a lot of fear and concern about a World War III or some atrocity possibly happening. And it was actually... I was so relieved to see someone see the parallels of the warning signs. That's really what's happening, is that we're just illuminating the warning signs that are coming up, because even when the Holocaust happened, people are like, oh, how could that happen? How could it get that far? And we're just holding up a mirror to society of, this might be the things you want to look at, of how it starts to slip through the cracks and you don't realize it's getting too far. So I actually was very happy to see someone else kind of see what I saw.
What's funny because it's in this age where, like, The Handmaid's Tale was one of the top watched shows, and even watching that, the first couple episodes, you're like, wow, this is crazy. But the more you watch it, you're like, wait a minute, this is what I'm seeing. Now. Now, as actors, how did you approach this material? Because I know there's a different concept behind it, which we're not going to spoil. But how did you approach it from an actor's point of view?
In my case, for example, obviously in my story of life, I was like,
girl, I've heard all the stories.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, for me, it was so important because of the message we want to give through the play, and also because I have something that relates me with Mrs. Van Damme, which is my character in the play. So because I was locked in the place, and for example, she's a very strong woman, and at some point she's like, let's do this, and this sense of humor, and so I had to do that before when I was going through my life. So it was like, oh my God, this is a gift, because I'm feeling that kind of catharsis through Mrs. Van Damme, but it's Van Damme, but it's also a very good, beautiful message that you have to be positive always, no matter what, and you have to be strong, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have faith. But the side that is not that positive for me is that, unfortunately, that Holocaust stuff is still happening, and it's ridiculous and it's insane, because the human being supposed to be evolutioning. I mean,
we've taken a few steps back, girl.
Thank you. So that's. I'm so thankful with Stan, because, by the way, I've been waiting for him. I mean, for a year and a half, and I was like, please, God, please, I want to work with this genius.
She was coming to all my plays, and I was like, I would love to find something, and all of a sudden I went, wait a minute, this is the part for
Everybody's
her.
waiting for that magic moment where Stan has a vehicle.
I was like,
exactly.
the minute I like her in this part, I'm like going, oh my God, you got to see this. You got to see her in this part.
Oh, thank you so much. You're a gift. You're an angel. Yeah, in every single play, I was like, I'm here.
I'm sitting here.
Should I send you my resume again? Yeah, but it's an amazing play. Please come to see this play.
But have you done political things? Have you gone to that point?
No, never. But through my story, I've been sometimes giving some message. I do motivational conferences, because I do believe in human being, and in we are human beings are magical. I mean, and we are in this life, I think, because we have a mission. I mean, yes, because we need to be happy and whatever, but I do believe that we have a mission. So in my case, in Mrs. Van Damme case, in Anne Frank's case, in every single character or person in this life, if that happened once, and Anne wrote this diary, for all of us to read that and to learn something, why is still happening? In my story, a lot of stuff happened. So I'm writing it down, and I'm going to make a TV series, because I would love to people understand that we need to evolution, and we need to learn.
And we need to learn from our youth, which is what I love. The diary is from such a young girl's point of view.
And she was so young.
The youth are now being political. Now they're protesting. Now they're getting involved to vote, which there have been some lapses with the younger generation in getting involved. Now they are getting involved, and nobody has to tell them to get involved. They're doing it because they want to.
Yes, exactly. So it's beautiful.
Now, Emiliano, what did your mom say when you told her, hey, I'm working on this project, this is what we're doing?
My mom always supports everything I do.
Everything?
Everything I do. She's one of those.
Yeah.
Everything?
I'm serious.
Are you sure?
Well,
I
didn't tell her. Every girl you brought home?
I didn't tell. She actually has loved every girl I brought home.
But I have a few scripts for you, Emiliano.
But my mother is, she's a superhero. But what I will say for sure is telling a story like this means a lot to her. She's an immigrant, and I was thinking a lot about this. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mother and my grandmother making their way over here. And like most immigrants, they come here for an opportunity to better their lives. And unfortunately, my family had to do it without papers. They didn't have the resources available. As most people that are lacking resources, they have to survive. And when people have to survive, they do what's necessary.
Right. Well, and the process is set up to discriminate against certain classes and certain education levels, so it's almost pointedly racist the way you...
Color of skin.
Right.
Just because of a color of a skin.
I understand the formalities and the obstacles that are put in place that keep certain people of a certain area or region or color or language, they keep them at distance. My family made it here, and I'm first generation. And I think my mother ultimately, and my grandmother, they love this country. And I think that's one of the big things that I wanted to make a point of, that this country is beautiful. This country has so much promise, and what it stands for is amazing. And what it stands for is diversity and enrichment through culture and connecting to pretty much everyone from the world in this one area on this big rock. And I think that is very special. And America is very special. And unfortunately, not everyone sees the beauty in our rich diversity and our rich cultures.
And I love that you said that there's this fierce patriotism for people that have come over and have been able to raise their family. I mean, that's often forgotten so much. It's like, oh, these people are coming over and they're doing this and doing that. It's like, they're more patriotic than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
My great-grandma was 96 when she became a U.S. citizen. So I just love that. Now, why do you think this is getting so much kickback? I mean, you've had death threats, you've had security issues, you had to go on CNN to defend your case. Why is this such a big deal?
There was this immediate kind of an angle, something on it that really isn't what it is. And through this kind of this pushed angle, very specific, that just wasn't what it is. It did get a lot of attention very quickly. We were all shocked.
Yeah,
One day
it
we're
started
just
with
working on
Drudge
something,
Report, and then
the
it
next
went
day it's
to
on
Breitbart saying that we were changing
Yeah.
the Nazis to ICE.
Which we're not doing at all.
Which
We're
we're
not
not doing.
changing
There's
a word
no
in the play.
need to do anything
That's very important.
to
But people
the
think
diary
that
of
you've
Anne
redone the play.
Frank.
The play is intact.
Yes.
Word for word.
To me, it says more, if you see that, then that is more a
Girl,
statement
that's
of
on
what
you.
you're seeing
Yeah.
in the mirror. We're creating art, and it's your interpretation. So if you're seeing that, then you might have some things
And
you
that's
wanna look
okay,
at.
but then let's talk about it. Don't start sending hate emails. Let's talk about it. Obviously, the immigration system is broken, but instead of like people being on these opposite sides, be realistic. Let's figure it out. This is the country where we're supposed to come for a better life. Why can't we do that?
Stan brought up a good point right now that's important. We are a nation of immigrants, and I think that we can have a good, healthy dialogue. And that's what we hope to inspire people to do, to find the humanity between one family that wants to survive and better themselves and another family that
and contribute to the
I was
country.
just going to say, and contribute.
Yeah,
and,
I
yes.
mean, people come
Well,
here,
yes.
take pride in, in
Yeah, I
being
saw
here and
some meme. It's like
contributing.
they weren't pilgrims; they were immigrants.
Yeah.
When we were talking about this controversy that became after the announcement of the diary of Anne Frank, I can't forget about one word that Stan said, and it's true. We are here to honoring that story. To honor, not because of nothing, not judging, not making differences, nothing, just to honor that story.
Well, and because people said, how could you equate this to the Holocaust that was a huge genocide?
But doesn't mean you have to equate the whole thing. I'm not saying the whole thing and the killing of 6 million Jews. Obviously, as a Jew, I would never demean the subject.
Exactly.
But I was a little shocked that other Jewish people couldn't understand or feel for people that were being persecuted in certain ways, and that threw me. Obviously, I thought maybe the far right wing, they were going to react, and when they start sending me emails saying, how can you hire these people? They're all illegals. Can't they stand in line? They're MS-13, and they, and then that just gets scary. And
it's so weird that this hate is out there. It's just so weird. And people hide behind this hate because they can. They hide behind their keyboards and their computer screens to dish out this hate because they can hide behind that.
Or they're saying, these people, they're illegal. Well, in Germany or in Amsterdam, the Jews were illegal. They were told they couldn't, hold businesses. And I've learned so many different parallels, as far as passports. And then now the whole passport thing has become a subject here, where even legal Americans are having their passports questioned. And that's shocking.
And
me.
now there's a whole new ID that you need to travel starting, I think,
for
January.
everybody. Yeah. So now we all have to figure out, we got to go to the DMV.
I went to the DMV. I was there for 5 hours, by the way. I'm traveling.
Why?
I'm taking my birth certificate. I'm taking every piece of identification I can because it scares me. It totally scares me.
But we've had cast members that are scared. Yep. They're scared to go out. The odd thing is when we're rehearsing, like my house, and the doorbell would ring, we freeze like as if it's the Nazis or ICE. Just like in the play. And it's like, it's just, between reality and the play, it gets very blurry.
And although we do appreciate the attention to it so that there can be a conversation, like Emmy said, they totally were focusing on something that wasn't true.
But people have their agenda.
They didn't have their facts, but they already had this opinion.
Missing
That's
something,
ridiculous.
especially while we're working this. And I'm get to watch these actors do material that they have not been able to have an opportunity to do before because of the color of their skin or their last name. And it just, people have, I don't want to say co-opted because that's not what's happening. This is clearly the story of Anne Frank. But, I just love that it brought it up and it really upsets me. And then it made me think, if I was a Latinx actor, what plays are my plays? What plays are? Where's that? What do you go for a monologue?
What are you allowed to do?
What do you go for a
But you don't even have opportunities. When actors would come in to read for us, and their resumes were smaller.
Yeah.
Because you just don't have opportunities in theater or in LA or in entertainment.
So although the press was initially negative, I think it lets people come out and see something that's really kind of.
But I also
cool
want to
and
focus. There were
to
so
young
many
Latin
people.
actors, wow, people are.
But so many people gave us love as well. I can't tell you the
Unbelievable
wonderful people
amounts.
that came in, or people that
Emmy,
said,
I'll give you love all night if you want.
Yeah, okay. Let's turn the lights down low.
Is your wife listening?
Play a little Barry White. But so many people wanted to come on board that contacted me and say, I don't want to be in it. I just want to help. What can I do? Can I paint a set?
Yes.
Can I do it? And we had so many. I've had so many people more than my other plays that Alan wanted to make a documentary about us, that just want to be a part of something that they feel. And I've had producers from New York call and say, this cannot stop here in 3 weeks. This has got to go on. How can we talk? I have someone like creating a budget. Like, how
I would love for this to spread, like
It needs
for
to.
schools to be
We
doing
wanna
it.
get it
Their
to schools. We've
multicultural
talked about that,
casting.
yes.
Yeah. So talking about the casting issue, because this has been a hot button on this show for the past 4 weeks, and I'm usually on the other side of the argument, believe it or not, in terms of the Scarlett Johansson dropping the trans film. So now it's not even going to get made.
where do you stand on that?
So here's the thing: it's you don't have to be trans to play a trans role. You don't have to be gay to play a gay role. You have to be a good actor because that's what you're hired for, and it's called acting.
Exactly.
Now, I do agree that we need more opportunities for real trans actors and real gay actors to come to the forefront. But right now, we don't have any A-listers that we can cast. And if a movie's not going to be made, or you make it with an A-lister, guess which one you should go with to tell our story. So, but we're talking about the exact opposite. You're saying you don't have to be Dutch to be in this play, but then there's that controversy right now that you have to be trans, you have to be gay to play those characters, and I disagree so vehemently, because that's not what acting is about. Number one, it's like Jamie Foxx played Ray Charles. Did he have to be blind? No.
But I think it's also different between a film and a theater project. Film is naturally naturalistic,
but we know
and
theater inspires film.
But theater is theatrical. It can bend. Look at Hamilton. Were those people in real life those colors?
If you would have asked me to invest $100 in Hamilton, I would have been like,
no,
are you
that's
crazy?
Yes.
SMC, when I was growing up, I went to Santa Monica City College.
Oh, did you really?
And they did an all-black musical version of Oedipus. No kidding.
But why not? I mean,
Why not?
I saw a production of a Shakespeare play that was done like Lucy Ricardo in the 50s.
I've seen
and
that.
it was super fun and interesting. So why can't you interpret the play as long as you're sticking to the words and just getting people to bend their minds? I think
and
it's
the
fun.
97
artistic.
adaptation did enough kind of neutralizing, and it takes it out of time. and place
And
a
it
little
brings the
bit.
story back to the forefront, which it should.
But
I
there
have to
were
say-
words like they say. We talk about deporting. We say walls. There's so many words in this play that you just go like, it catches your breath.
And I have to say, every actor that I've been blessed to work with on this production, I mean, we have done our due diligence and research on really trying to honor, even if we aren't Jewish, like really trying to understand the person, because we're representing, we're a voice for the voiceless of the past of the actual characters
There's
that
a
happened.
lot of responsibility, you guys.
And today.
Yeah, and the children that don't have a voice that, are put in cages. So we're not just, taking another gig. We're doing it with a complete reverence for the people who had to experience this and really trying to do it justice and honor the whole story.
And
as a whole.
respect.
Yeah.
And respect.
Is this the most serious show you've ever done? Yeah.
We're gonna
He's
break
like,
it
get
up
out of
in-
here. Last time I invited you here, Stan.
She's like gossip.
Jeez, yeah.
No, but I have to say, Stan, and this is true of all of your plays, the chemistry that seeps out on stage is so quick, and I know you have quick rehearsal processes. You usually work fast and furious, right? So
Yeah.
how
Fast
Yeah.
and furious.
How
But
did
it used
you
to
know?
be like that. Okay, then. Okay, I'm fine.
Was it so too fast for you
No,
guys?
but let me tell you something.
Uh-oh.
And it's not
He
because
comes from
he's
the
here.
sitcom
Should
world.
I
He's
leave
like,
the
come
room?
on, come on.
No. Right now, that when you were talking about when you were a dancer,
Yes.
maybe
In a dance belt?
Yeah, maybe
had a
that's
dance
why.
belt. Oh.
That's because of your teacher.
Yeah.
That's why he's so gentle. I mean,
Stan's gentle?
yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
And
he,
so
as a
patient.
director,
Don't let that word
He's
get
so-
out.
Oh
That's
my
not
goodness.
good in West Hollywood.
it's not because he's here. I swear to God, he's like, okay, could you please do it again? Because I used to be, do that, whatever, change, we'll go. And I will first in the first day, I was like, oh my God,
He's gonna get
Stan
it.
Zimmerman. I mean, Stan Zimmerman.
No, he's
Mr.
never me.
Zimmerman.
He's
Yeah,
never me.
a-
He's like, okay, we'll
And
work
he's
on
like,
that.
could you
okay,
recognize
He's
me?
we're all gonna
patient.
agree that you need to
Oh
work
my
on
goodness.
that.
So
How come
nice.
he's so impatient with me? I just don't get it.
We know why. Then.
I get an email, a page full of notes after every time he's on the show. He's like, well, so this is where
Had
it
you done
lies.
this?
Yeah.
He's a very, very, very gentleman as a
specific.
director. Huh?
But specific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very.
Very.
Very,
but
very,
patience,
very.
patience
Like
of
with the
Job.
V.
And I think that's from the film world where you see everything frame by frame by frame. Now, how did you build the chemistry with this cast, Stan?
They're all so specific and different that I
Very
look at them in the room and I'm like, and I talked to Julie Gaylor, my casting director. I'm like, oh my God, it was just when you pick very different people but so specific and you throw them in this room like they were thrown together in the annex.
Yeah.
It's combustible. You just want to see them, and every character is just like bright, and so that's why I can't wait for people to see it starting on Thursday night. Oh my God!
The best
2 days.
ingredients in a blender, and then the smoothie
Fireworks.
is like delicious.
Yeah.
I'm so sad I'm going to miss the opening night with the free wine in the back of the Dory
Whatever.
Theater.
You've been to a lot of those openings.
I head straight to that wine because
Yes,
it's not
you
going to
got
last. Emiliano, you have played some pretty macho roles, reoccurring on Shooter. You just have to look at your Instagram and your muscles and camouflage and everything is coming out. Do you think being machismo is still an issue in the Latino community, especially as a Latin actor?
I guess I never have to worry about it because I guess I just
you are
I just
macho?
He's
exude
got
it.
the muscles, yeah. So.
But I don't do it on purpose. I guess it's just
Oh, it's just natural? That's like when a skinny person is like, I don't work out. Go to hell.
He's just born that way.
I actually don't think I'm as macho as people perceive me to be. I'm very sensitive.
He's a pussycat.
Yeah, I'm very.
Well, you have a close relationship with your mom is always the best quality when you're like on a first date.
Right.
You ask them how the relationship with their friends, their exes, and their moms because you're going to find out who that person is
Yeah.
from
I
those.
thought you're not supposed to bring up the exes.
Just say like, oh, are you still friends? You don't have to like go into it that, you know,
So that's what I'm
He got
doing
the
wrong.
cat.
That's what I'm, yeah.
girl.
This whole
I
time,
got notes
Stan.
for you.
This
I
whole
about your
give,
first
give me
date.
date notes. I need that.
No, but no, I definitely am thankful that that I've just been blessed with a certain spirit, and I get I think I give off a certain impression, but once people get to know me, they realize that I'm a pussycat. Is that correct, Stan?
It's
I
very true
might have
because
said that.
when you walked in, I knew you were coming on the show, and I did my research. I'm like, oh, is he going to be fun? Can I crack gay jokes? Can I do tweak his nipples, but
Can you stop there, please? Okay.
but no, you have a very amicable personality and very open. Now, the roles that you're getting called in for, though,
yes, they're
still
usually
that kind of
they're typecast and they're one-dimensional, which is one of the main reasons why I love doing stage.
Yeah.
Because I get to expand and I get to stretch in a way that I don't usually in TV and film.
But especially with this, I mean,
Oh, yes.
you're
Completely
one of the wide
different type.
range of emotions and.
Yeah. One of the main reasons why I took this story with
It's no paying gig.
with
It's low
Stan.
paying. Yeah.
No, with Stan. One of the main reasons is because how many times am I ever going to get to play Mr. Frank?
I was going to say this is such a unique opportunity. This
doesn't come around
very
often,
soon.
if ever again. And Stan had a vision, and his vision is special, and it's timely, and it's important, and for him to believe in me, to be able to play Mr. Frank is special, and you really can't say no. I mean, I thought about it.
He tried to say
I
no.
tried
I'm
to
like,
say
and he was like, and I got this conflict and
coming
that
out.
conflict. I'm like, no, we'll work around that.
No, I didn't. No, it
all
wasn't.
right.
It's just a little scary when you work in TV and film a lot. It's
Yes.
a little scary to
It's
take.
like, yes.
It's a little scary to take theater because if you know theater, and I come from theater, it's a
It's a
big
commitment, yeah.
big chunk
It's a
of time.
commitment. You don't know what audition you might miss, or
But
you
you're
have to
on
fly out.
stage for a chunk of time. There's no getting off.
But
there.
I've never shied away from the stage, and the stage is where I feel most at home. The
That's
stage
what
is
you
where
said.
we get to create art that you can't in front of a screen.
And
in
it's
front of a
different
camera.
chemistry every single night, every single minute. Everything changes. You guys are going to have such
We don't
different
even know.
shows based
Yeah.
on the audience. Now, Raquenel, you've done a lot of work in U.S. and foreign markets. Do you think being a crossover actress is still a possibility? Have you found that it's been easier to go back and forth between foreign and U.S.?
I mean, while I'm alive, I'm gonna keep fighting for it. I do believe in crossover. That's why I'm here. Otherwise, I would be in Mexico in my comfort zone,
Or in Miami doing 10
Or
telenovelas?
Exactly.
a year,
Yeah. But I'm.
What do you
I
want to
have
do here? What is your dream here?
I would love to be in Hollywood in TV series and obviously singing worldwide. Yeah, that's my dream.
I love that your music, you keep that going so strong, and your fans absolutely love you and follow you all
Thank
around. How much of your music contributes to your acting style and how you approach a character?
Everything, the most, because when you're a singer, and at least in my case, every single word that I'm singing, I'm not just singing them. I'm telling that to the audience. I'm like, like it depends. I mean, if it's
Are you
romantic
single?
or
Are you single?
yes.
Oh my!
How is that
God.
possible?
I know. I don't
Because
understand that.
I'm so
Well, number one, because you're
busy.
crazy a little bit.
Yeah, that's
Have you had a
chosen.
long-term relationship?
yes, I
Yeah.
used to. Yes.
Go read the
Married?
tab.
Right now,
married?
right.
Were you married?
Yeah, when I was 15.
Oh,
Her,
wow.
life is a telenovela.
literally
Oh, my
is.
life is a
Hola.
telenovela, girl.
Only one marriage?
Only one, yeah.
Okay.
I was about to marry for one. Yeah, but for twice.
Girl,
but,
Stan, you need to Google.
I'm scared to.
Your eyes will.
I don't want that on my computer.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
when you read about my story, you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
no, but I mean, thank God. I was talking to your mom before, and the good stuff is that I don't know why, but at some point in my life, I was like, "Hey God, please, I'm gonna grab your hand. Please don't lose me," and because I wanna feel alive, I wanna be happy, and I would love to take advantage of every single opportunity that comes into my life, because for 20 years I was like prisoner, you know, and I just want to be happy, and I just want to be working with this amazing man. Thank you. And I can presume that I have his friendship, and I love him.
Stan's a
lot.
good guy. Once he's
Yeah.
your friend, he's your friend.
Oh,
Yeah,
for,
he is, and
for
I love
life.
you. You know that, and that he believed in me, and I'm blessed because I know these amazing people here.
And we hug
And I'm like,
every beginning of rehearsal. Everyone's
You have
hugging.
to. There's so much
Yeah.
emotion and so much
Yeah,
stuff
we
going on. You
do.
have
We
to.
give
You have to
love.
acknowledge
It's
that
really cool.
and then breathe a little bit.
yeah,
And
thank you.
talking about life stories, Keith, A Tale of Two Corys. I know it was very personal for you in terms of the era it was talking about, in terms of dealing with Corey Feldman, who I know is your friend, and Corey Haim, who has passed. What was that like? How did you get involved in that project? And what was it like visiting that story for Lifetime?
so utterly surreal.
I can't even imagine watching
eating,
it. I was like, this
dinner,
is crazy.
and I get a call, and it's Feldman. And he wants to know if I'm interested in being a part of it. I still have to read for it, of course. And I read for one of the molesters of Corey Haim, and I don't get it. I'm heading out of town. I had to put it on an iPhone, auditioned, and what it was is they couldn't show the face of, and I'm a freaking ham. So they couldn't show the face of this particular molester. And they go, we have another molester. So,
well, Hollywood's full of them.
Story.
Yeah.
So I wound up playing another molester that's known. They could name him. It's a real person, and they didn't use a fake name or anything like that. And they're a wilder personality. And so I got to him. I had 2.5 minutes to figure out how to get into Corey Haim's pants. And I did it 3 ways. One way,
3-way.
How do I do this? How quickly can I get this kid into the bathroom? Second way, he just needs love. He just needs someone to care for him. And the third way was, we're just going to mess with Feldman and make him think that we're heading off to. They used that third choice.
Interesting.
Of let's just play. I whisper in his ear and I say, hey, let's play a trick on him and make him think we're going.
Yeah.
And you don't really hear that part. So it's really great, and I have this evil little laugh, and people were absolutely horrified. It ruined several babysitter pictures for them.
Yeah.
It was so fun. I've been playing a lot of sleazy guys because there's been an amazing diversity push in town lately. And this is before the Me Too movement. We've been having diversity pushes at networks and rounds for it, and I'm straight, white, male, 48 now, kind of heavy and balding. And
never say your age.
And I
Never,
got why not? No,
I just had a birthday.
Say it.
I did not
Say
say
it.
mine.
I'm never getting work. And here's the thing: I got to enjoy a time in the '80s when a lot of movies about teenagers happened to focus on white suburban kids.
Yep.
So there's 40 of us in town that got all the work and did all the movies. And there weren't a lot of any other ethnicity represented except for token minorities that you'd even have to lampshade and just go, yeah, we know, this is all we got, this one character. And so right now we're seeing such a growth, and your protagonists are being represented by people that are sitting at home, never seeing themselves represented on
Even
screen
Disney
by someone
princes
that
are
looks
different
like
ethnicities
them.
now.
So who's playing the antagonist? Me. I'm getting every bad guy part. I am picking it up.
But you're such a nice
because
guy.
I'm
That's so
the straight
funny.
white guy. Everyone's so ready to hate on that, and we do need a 2-minute hate every once in a while. 1984. And it's fine, and it's just a character. And this is what's great about working in a show like this. I love ensemble pieces. I also love supporting characters, and I've always played the brother, the friend, whatever.
Yeah.
And we all love Keith. Honestly.
Right. Shush.
Well, his stories never. Like,
So
I
I'm
could
just
listen to you tell
backstage
stories
trying
all
to
day.
cover up like shark objects and trying to help people and find
yeah,
plugs.
he's so
and I've
cute.
got some more time. I don't spend a lot of time. I'm the guy that runs up in the attic and is like, shh, shut up, guys. Be quiet. I'll bring you some more food later. So, I don't have as
True
much.
story.
But it's still.
I hope you're not vaping in between scenes,
It's like-
Keith.
yeah, right, exactly. Oh my God. And the drinking backstage is
All
terrible.
that smelling
At
was
the end of the play, he comes in with like a box of Cheez-Its.
Keith gave us
Please give us some.
Keith gave us the dressing room rules.
Oh, yeah.
No liquor unless we.
Unless you bring enough for everyone.
Yes.
Yes,
There's
or unless
no
you're
drinking.
Wait
That's
a
sad.
minute. I didn't hear
No,
about
my
that.
rules
I
were no
didn't hear
whistling, no mentioning the
Yeah.
Scottish play.
Yeah, that's
Right.
bad luck.
Right.
What you have to do if you do either of those things.
Well, it's cute because we have 2 young kids, a 15 and a 16-year-old, playing Peter
See, I
and
love
Anne.
this. These are the kind of superstitions in theater that
They don't know.
they're going by the
They've never
wayside.
done
It's so
plays
weird.
before,
Yeah.
so they don't even know half the things that are going on. So
And that's so much. That's so much part of the culture. Other than the piece that you're actually doing, that's a whole show in itself, and
Oh,
that's
yes.
such a whole experience.
well, the
It's
girl
Behind
that
the
played
scenes.
Anne had her
Ooh.
first kiss.
That was amazing.
Today.
Literally
Today.
today. I've been holding off
yes.
and making letting.
Did she have
they have
one
to
in
kiss.
real life too?
I
And we
saw
took a picture
it.
of it. Her first real kiss.
You
was
took a
on
picture of it?
stage.
This is her first.
You took a
Elvira
picture.
took a
Kiss.
picture of it.
So her
yeah.
first
Yeah.
kiss is in a show.
in a play. Isn't that
Yeah.
sweet?
Right.
They have such chemistry. It's really.
I can't wait to see the
extraordinary,
show.
Her dad.
sweet.
Her
And
dad
they're
couldn't
such
watch
an amazing actor.
Stan didn't let him inside the theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bobby from Burbank, great dad.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Shout
but
out to Bobby from
but
Burbank.
Genesis is a star in the making. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
when you see
wait.
and this play is on her shoulders.
Till you
She's
see it.
15 years old, and such gumption and talent. And you give her a note, boom, got it. I'm so lucky that we have her here.
I get to meet a lot of actors, and from the CW, and there's two types. There's the types that get it automatically. And Keith, I think you were this kind of child actor. You knew how to be in 100 different commercials. You knew how to act in a commercial. You knew how to act on Knight Rider. You knew how to act in a movie of the week. Kids just instinctively get it. And then there's the other kind that are in some bubble, live in some other planet, that don't even get what they're supposed to be doing as an actor, as a craft. It's not just taking the selfies and showing up at red carpets. It's the hard work that goes behind it.
Have you talked to her as a kid actor to kid actor?
She is a workhorse. She goes to school, gets those grades up, does modeling or pageantry or some dang thing she was doing on the side. Have you seen her Instagram? She wears makeup. She looks like a 28-year-old.
Singing, yeah.
Singing.
It's scary how kids are looking like adults, younger and younger.
And she comes to rehearsal. She's memorized this 100 pages of text.
Everything.
Yeah.
And gets the cues like a dancer. I think that really helps because it's 10 people packed in a very small stage.
Yep.
And the choreography it's a ballet. And this girl... and it's funny, she'd been really buried by a lot of the work, and I've started to see her personality come out over the last few days because she's kind of done all the work now, and now she gets to go out and do this and play and do this on stage, and she's talking back and having fun, but she is a workhorse.
Yes, definitely.
Speaking of workhorses and pageantry, I have so many questions.
Yes.
We should all leave, but that's a whole other hour right there. Yes.
Glitter bomb.
Glitter bomb. I've always wanted to be a pageant girl. What are some of the biggest misconceptions about the pageant world that exist that you would like to address?
Oh, goodness. That's a good question. Well, most of them are actually really nice. There's very few, but there are one or two animals that might be in
What
there.
made you get in them? I always wonder, why did they start?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Was it money, a scholarship?
I'm not like a pageant girl per se because, before.
Girl, I saw the pics. You were pageant.
Well, if I'm going to
How big was your hair?
If I'm going to do something, it's going to be 100%.
You have like the really curly hair, right?
Yeah, my hair's naturally really curly.
Yeah.
And her talent was?
Dancing.
Yeah. What song did you do?
I'm a tap dancer. I did Money from Cabaret. Money.
Done.
Yes!
He wants to do that.
I love it. But yeah, no, originally I wanted to be a biochemist. I was such a nerd in
Tap
school.
dancer, biochemist.
Yeah. And then I did a play and I absolutely loved it.
What play?
Sleeping Beauty. With Valley Youth Theater, which Emma Stone is also an alumni of. From
We actually have
Phoenix.
a picture of you. You did Neil Simon's Rumors. We actually have
Fools.
Fools.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm a big fool.
Yeah. That's fine. It's black and white. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Look at it.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
How adorable.
So then I wanted to do acting, but I was such a nerd. I couldn't look people in the eye, and I was very, very shy. And my mom would always be like, "Look at my daughter." You know, my mom was from Cuba, so she'd be like, "Oh, look, here's my daughter. Here's her headshot. Here's her picture." And I'm like, "Mom, stop." And she was like, when I turned 18, she's like, "If you want to be an actress, you need to be able to talk to people. Like, you need to do this pageant," which was Miss Hispanic Arizona. And I didn't invite anybody, like not my boyfriend at the time, not my friends, because I was like, I'm not going to win this thing. And I won. And then within a year, I went from Miss Hispanic to Miss Arizona to Miss USA, and then was like in the top 15 at Miss USA.
That's just so crazy to me. Like, talk about a Cinderella story. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
But like some of the juicy backstage details, like everybody's nice, okay, but there's got to be some juicy.
Oh, I mean, there's so much juicy story. Did you see my interview on CNN?
Well, I saw that because you had some run-ins with our illustrious president.
Yes, he owned Miss Universe and Miss USA, and he would come backstage during the pageant when we were in various stages of undress, which is not cool for Basically, you have one shot at Miss USA, so you do have women who are there from 2 years old that are just like, this is their life, this is their dream, this is their whole career. And, when you're at that level and you think you need to do whatever it takes to win, it creates this very awkward kind of position. So you also have, like, most of the women were brilliantly nice and beautiful, but you did have one woman that took a box cutter and cut one of the women's competition gowns, which are like $4,000.
That's like My Life as a Telenovela.
Why
type
would
of
she do
stuff.
that?
Think like that,
because
baby.
it's so cutthroat in competing.
Because she had nothing to wear then. What did she end
exactly.
up doing?
Then I mean,
How'd you know it was her?
Did you ever show
Well, I
girl
don't
her and
know.
like push
I
her down
mean-
the stairs?
I wish.
Honestly, you always know
No,
who
Amy.
it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you, at least in Miss USA, I can't speak for all the other pageants, but you are put with one other state. So, like, my state was Miss West Virginia. That was my roommate. So you have a roommate.
That's so weird to
it's
share a
who
room.
else is it gonna be?
Like,
Wait, so you were with her?
No, but it wasn't Miss West Virginia.
Okay.
It was
I want
another
names, yeah.
nameless,
he's already writing a
stateless-
play, by the way.
I see,
know,
I see
right?
the
He's
hotel
thinking
room.
about the next
Yes.
So good.
What's her name? Do you still keep in touch with her?
No,
Okay.
not the bad ones, only the
Okay,
good ones.
Okay.
Now, it's funny that improv is also such a big part of your life, especially when
Yeah.
you talk about being shy and not being able to look people in the eye. You know, improv, you can have no pride in improv because you have to sometimes look so silly. You sometimes have to suck really bad. You just never know. So it's funny that you've incorporated that shyness, but then you've overcome it with improv. And I'm sure improv is a big part of pageantry because
Yeah.
you have to answer the questions. You
Oh,
have to,
yeah. Are you
What was
kidding
your
me?
question?
Oh, well,
Tell me
so
your
I was
question.
in 2001. So if you remember Elian Gonzalez, who
Yes.
was the Cuban boy, 11 years
You
old.
got that question?
Yeah.
Oh, my
my
God.
Yeah.
A light question. Yeah.
That's crazy. And some girls were like, what hairspray do you use? And you get like a
And world
political question.
peace.
Yes.
That is one thing I can say. Most of us nice beauty queens, we still are working on world peace.
Okay.
One play at a time.
And what was your answer?
Well, my mom was actually from Cuba. So,
And were you given that maybe
That-
the question?
huh?
Were you talked to about that could be a question?
No, not at
So
all.
when
You
they
have no idea what the
So
questions
when
are
it
going to
came
be.
up, were you like, oh my God?
Yeah, so
what do I
when
say?
you are training for the pageants, you're training for every question from
Yep.
what's your favorite joke? And I would have
But
like
no
a
one
silly
brought-
Arizona pun to, what would you do with the
But no
this
one
Cuban
brought up
crisis?
that question to you? That could be one of them?
I mean, you're reading the headlines so that you
Yeah,
know
you have
any
to
possible
figure
thing
some of
that
them.
it could
Yeah.
happen. So, because my personal story of my mom being from Cuba, she said when boys turn like 11 and 12, they get put into military camp anyway. So I just said, based on the knowledge of what my mom told me, he would be put into military school anyway and not really be with his father because he would be in boarding school. His mother gave up her life for him to have a better life. So I think the bigger dialogue we should be having is how can we have the father come over to visit his son and give the child the better life that the mother wanted, which now doing the Diary of Anne Frank and playing Anne Frank's mom, it's so poignant of everything she gave up and sacrificed and all of that stuff.
Moms are the best.
Yes.
And we
Here,
talked
here.
about a lot of that in rehearsal today.
Yeah.
We really kind of peeled away more. Each rehearsal, we peeled more of the
Mm-hmm.
onion. And we talked a lot about being the mama bear for this.
Yeah.
She plays an unbelievable Mrs.
Yes,
Frank.
yeah.
I can't wait to see it. So let's talk about some of the behind the scenes of your personal life. Whenever we do a show, it pretty much takes over our lives, from the rehearsal to the long text to the actual performances. You bring home that energy. You guys are working on such a heavy show. I know some of you are married. I know you're single. How do you deal with your friends and family relationships while you're in the theater process?
No one has children. We found
That is very interesting.
Very odd. That
Thank God, children are the
We
worst.
realized that suddenly
They ruin Disneyland.
Wow.
They smell weird.
They ruined Disney. Oh my God. We actually do love Disneyland. My wife and I go to Disneyland. We have season passes.
I saw your Instagram.
And we
Really? It's so annoying.
And
I
by
find it.
we always Disney California Adventure has beer and wine.
Okay.
So
Well,
trust
did
me.
you guys hear the first
The Star Wars
drinking-
cantina!
That was have booze.
Oh, and Disneyland's coming?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Guess where I'm gonna be?
Well, I'll be right next to you.
Meet you there.
No, but we love Disneyland. But no, my wife and I, we really get along. She's my best friend, and she's supportive. Moreover, she's encouraging. She loves this story. She's excited to see it.
And did you talk to her before taking this?
Yes,
part?
I did talk to her.
And
We
she
talk
said-
about
It's a
everything.
family
She's my wife.
decision. Yeah.
And she was excited. She was really excited. She knew
Story?
she knew how I felt about certain things that were happening, and she knew that if I have an opportunity to use my craft to do something more than get a couple of bucks, she said you should do it. So she made it very simple. She said this story needs to be told, and why not you? Why not now? Even though it takes a village, number one, and it takes so much time and energy, and we know how much theater pays. in this town.
It pays.
It doesn't.
Right. So
Really?
Doesn't even pay for the Uber to get there because he can't park.
Right.
Story.
So I'm not surprised, actually, that Stan was able to find unbelievable talent, because you really have to have a passion, not only for the story, but you really have to know what you're doing if you're gonna take this on. And I was very thankful that ultimately I said yes, because this is, once in a lifetime. This story with this cast at this time, that's stars aligning kind of stuff.
But what tips do you have when you have to go home tired and you have, couple issues, or you need to hang out with friends, or you just
my
What friends?
my
Hang out? No.
No friends.
my husband's so sweet. He's like, "Oh, I'm not getting to see you anytime. Can I take you on a date night?" And it's so
that's
cute.
cute.
He is watching right now.
Hey,
and
girl.
He's
so handsome too, by the way.
Yeah, you see pictures.
Girl, I stalk all of y'all.
I know. He's very excited to actually see both, because I have 2 husbands in the show. So now I'm lucky
That's my
to get
dream.
3 husbands. Very handsome, and he's looking forward to seeing both of them.
How dare you? Why you do?
I take all husbands.
Now I'm sad.
And Keith, your relationship with Pinky, you guys are together all the time. So this must be a little tough when, she's just not with
It
you
is
all the
so
time.
tough. Well, number one, my mom wanted to support Jeffrey Owens, who was caught bagging groceries at Trader Joe's.
Yes.
And my mom goes, well, every actor has to pay their dues and do the work. And as everyone knows, he's in a show that's never going to have reruns
I have a
or
question.
any residuals
I have
ever.
a question for
I
one
have
of our
one of
fans.
those. on
And
the
so
docket
my
now,
mom
yeah.
goes, I want you to let everyone know you work as a Sony studio tour guide. And this is my really first public announcement about that. I work 40 hours a week, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, showing people the Esther Williams stage. I love it. I love walking around the MGM lot.
What
but
a
this
treat for
and
your
the
guests, by
rehearsals,
the way.
I never see Pinky again. It's been gone, all of August gone. We had booked some things, and I absolutely jumped on the show, so she had flown out of town.
Oh, my God.
But without my wife, but we're coming. Our 5-year anniversary is coming in October.
Congratulations.
So as soon as the play closes, we'll have some good time together. But
We're closing. We're closing
It is, well,
for now.
not this town.
I don't think so. I
We'll
don't
close.
think so.
We closed
theater
40
manager.
miles outside of New York.
Yeah.
Keith, I actually got this email for a question for you from somebody that has had reoccurring and then nothing for years, and then reoccurring. And so they want to talk to you about how do you deal with the highs and lows in careers, because that's part of anybody in entertainment. You're going to have your peak years. You're going to have your years where it's dry. How do you get through that optimistically without just throwing the towel in and getting upset at the industry? What tips do you have for actors in between gigs?
I mean, that's
Vodka.
the
Well, no, that could be a problem. Lindsay Lohan's now in. Well, never mind.
Vodka.
Brought to you by.
well, if you absolutely want to guarantee that you're not going to make it, give up. Go ahead and quit. And it's just something that you have to be pulled from it horizontally, gripping the pole or the stage, as it were. And it's something you learn as if you do it, and if you're not enjoying it, get out of show business. There's too many things that you're going to be uncomfortable, and it's tough, and there are long hours, and then you have to act all sorts of different ways. But you can, and I really do think it may be in the blood. But also, people can be brought in just like Jedis don't have to be Skywalkers. Okay, the universe can create people that have a natural talent for it, and a first-generation actor comes along, and they belong absolutely on the set. Not me. I'm a hack. I'm a total,
please,
just a
Carl.
mimic. And,
No, he's
no,
not.
God,
he
I have
is
this
a
talent.
hack, yeah.
This is all a lie.
No. David Hasselhoff
I am
learned from
working
you,
with
and you were a
king.
little kid.
some
That's right.
very
Yeah.
truly talented people.
The
And,
king
uh,
of self-deprecating
love you
over here.
guys.
This guy's a gem.
Oh, he's so
Super
cute.
humble.
He's
So my
adorable.
grandfather, well, number one, if anyone says, "Oh, you're not working," or "What are you doing now?" he said, just look him in the eye and say, "Well, it's better to be a has-been than a never was."
Yeah.
Yes. And he goes, it is cyclical. And so doing the work is doing the work. I know people that have washed out of town because they didn't have that side job or a support circle or a way to stay in town when it's not paying off money-wise. And I can't, I do have a flippant word of advice. Go back 30 years, do a couple of 80s movies. The residuals kind of keep you going. That's nice, and it does allow you to do
Convention.
99C Theater.
Yeah, and your fans love you at conventions, and I'm so glad you go out and meet them. And you're just
Thank you to St. Louis. That was great. You guys are awesome. I get to hang out with Scott Baio at his first autograph convention. Todd Bridges.
Who cares
the cast
about
of
Scott
Grease.
Baio?
All the cast of Grease. We had
I saw that
a lot
picture,
of the Pink
yeah.
Ladies and all the Thunderbirds.
Yeah. I love that. And in terms of talking about sharing your family, Raquenel, like about your life, we know that you've had some turmoil that became very public. Now that you kind of recovered from that, how do you decide how much to share with your fans on social media? Now social media is in your face. How do you choose what to share and what not to share?
That's an interesting question. Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's difficult for me to share something as long as my life, I mean, what audience thinks that it was my life, was supposed to be. So sometimes I feel so insecure about what am I going to share, but definitely nothing about my private life.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so like close with that. When I'm on public or working or so, I'm so like, yeah, I'm here. But once I'm in my place, I close the door and
But what about dating and love life? You don't want to share that part? Oh.
I would be afraid to date Raquenel. Like, I would be so afraid.
Once no, I'm different that you think I am.
Yes, I've seen the Raquenel, which is your brand, which is, very
Yeah.
lively, but I've also seen
But not because I'm hypocrite or something like that. It's because sometimes you're dating with someone. And then the audience is like, oh, she has this boyfriend. And then you're not dating that person anymore.
Yep.
So, oh my God, they broke up. We didn't go even, you know.
didn't have the chance to breathe
exactly.
through it. Yeah.
So that's why I'm so careful. Once I have my boyfriend or husband or something.
Plus, all your gay friends are going to be like, that guy better be
hot,
hot.
I want to dance at your wedding. Okay.
All of us.
Mi amor, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah. What kind of man do you see yourself with?
First of all, I need him to be like a good man with a beautiful heart and to love me. And once he loves me, the rest is coming by itself.
No.
Yes, definitely.
No.
Once you love
You have to
someone,
have muscles. You have to be tall. You have to be dark and handsome. Emiliano.
I mean, yes. But the most important for me right now is like someone who loves me.
How about a Jewish guy?
A Jewish director,
Latina's a very
producer, writer.
expensive taste.
Please
Jewish
give me
men don't
his
like to
phone
spend money
number.
on dates.
I'm gonna text him right now.
You're gonna get a lot of emails
I always do
for
anyway.
candidates for Raquenel.
Good.
Raquenel's
dating
love
show.
at
Oh my-
gmail.com now.
Stan
Season
wants
2 of Glitter Bomb. We should do a whole
Like a Bachelorette.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
We had
Oh,
the winner
I
of
would
the
love
Bachelorette
to,
here
yes.
last week, Josh
Yes,
Murray.
baby,
Wow.
thank you.
All right,
Please.
I have one last question, and then we're going to play rapid fire so our viewers can find you. Stan, I got this email from the internet.
Okay.
Do we have too much content out there right now, and is it damaging quality shows because it's too oversaturated?
There is a lot of content and it's hard to keep up, but I think creativity right now is at such an explosion. We have to always keep it open and exploring. So no, why would you cut that off? I mean, create wherever you can. I believe, look at all the crazy content I've created in just the last year. You just have to put out. Instead, you just sit at home and you hide under the covers. So,
but there's so much good content, though. Like, I think a lot of it's being swept under the rug, or great rising stars are not blooming because
it will
there's
find
too much
its audience
to watch.
where it's meant to be, I believe.
That's true.
Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting. All right, we're gonna finish the show by playing rapid fire. You guys, it's just very simple. It's just 5 questions. It's nothing.
Do I have to drink more vodka to be ready?
How personal are these questions?
It's not personal.
We're scared over here.
Yeah,
the
no.
virgins.
No. It's
Whoa.
Take my hand, please.
Right? Oh.
You'll be okay.
Thank you, kid.
And then after you answer your questions, tell our viewers where they can find you and everything. So who wants to go first?
Keith.
I'll go first.
Okay, Keith.
He's not scared of it.
I'll kick that door in.
Keith, what was your worst audition ever?
Oh, God, for Stan. So I went up for a play right before this, and I auditioned for Stan.
And he was really good.
And
Which
I didn't
play was
get
it?
I'm just kidding. It wasn't my worst. But I have had ones where I black out, and I've walked into the bathroom off of the side office. I booked it, but still, I just don't like the blacking out. And I did that like a few weeks ago too. I walked up a staircase right after. I do when I go into character. I don't remember, and I walk out, and I have to find out later how did I say that script? Was it even that scene? I don't know. I literally will completely just go.
But it shows with an actor he did read for me, and it wasn't the right connection with the right ensemble.
What play was it for?
Synthesis. And it was like so close. I'm like, but then I was like, I have to work with him, and I had to figure it out. And then this came up. I was like, no, this is it. It's got to be it. So for actors out there, trust the right role with the right people.
And you will stay in their mind.
For me, yes.
Mindy Sterling was on the show, and she talked about she botched her audition for the reboot of Murphy Brown. And it's like, how does Mindy Sterling botch up an audition? And she said she was horrible.
So my worst audition was for The Champ with John Voight. And of course,
I do remember that movie.
So we're on the MGM lot, and they built a jail set, and John Voight's inside the jail set. We're all prepared in costume, and they're filming this with cameras. And, I want the champ, and I'm crying, and he reaches through the bars, and he's supposed to smack the kid, and he smacks me, and I break. And I smile. I laugh. And they go, next, and bring in Ricky.
Oh, my God.
That was probably... I just didn't have the focus for it. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
I still don't. Squirrel.
Okay. I do remember that movie.
An 80s film you wish you could go back in time and star in.
Adventures in Babysitting. Thank you,
You
Chris
did,
Columbus.
you
That's
did.
it. No, I argued with Will Wheaton. I was like, you're in Stand By Me. He's like, you had Adventures in Babysitting. Corey Feldman really wanted to be in Toy Soldiers. And Will Wheaton goes, would you trade with me? And I said, no, I would not. And he goes, well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I love Will
I still wanted to be in Goonies.
Yes. Oh, I would love you in Goonies. Last a show that you binge watched.
Right now we're doing Orange is the New Black. We're still finishing it, but we've got like
You're
6
one of the
in
last
one
few
day.
that are still clinging to that
6
show.
in one day.
Yeah, I just binge watched Friends from College. It's pretty good. The biggest celebrity letdown, since you've met so many celebrities. The biggest one you were just like, oh, that wasn't what I wanted.
Well, no, because you'll get prepped. So I can't say I've had the biggest. I have been let down by people. Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah,
Initials.
You can't name.
I can't
One.
initials.
Okay,
No, I'd name them if I
name
could
them.
remember
Come
'em.
on, one. Give a movie.
Oh
Come
wow,
on.
that's tough.
Kids, come on.
It's tough.
Scott
I can't.
Baio,
I
done.
can't.
Yeah, Scott Baio.
Three.
That
We're
would
done.
be
And we're moving on. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
What would the name of your biography be?
The Coogan Act.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Good one.
Which is funny because I worked for City National Bank in the entertainment division. We would have to open up Coogan accounts all day long. That's so funny. Okay, Keith, where can our viewers and listeners find you and follow you?
KeithCooganOnline.com.
Great
At
website.
Twitter handle Keith Coogan. Also Instagram handle Keith Coogan.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
He's
And love to Pinky, by the way. We miss you. Okay, who's
Love
next?
you, babe.
Tosh.
Okay, I'm going to
Tasha.
get this over with. I'm more nervous than Miss USA.
We kind of talked about this, but what was the worst pageant question you were ever given?
Oh, the worst pageant question? Okay, well, I told you I love puns, so it was like, what is, your favorite joke? And I said, okay, why didn't the cactus cross the road?
Why?
Why?
Because it was stuck to the chicken.
But that doesn't make sense because
It's
the
the
chicken
worst.
did cross the road.
Oh,
I don't even get it.
that's too much.
Because a
vodka.
cactus sticks to you.
Whatever.
Mr. Director.
Rewrite. Yeah.
That's a pretty bad question, though. Kurt,
Yeah.
don't write that one down.
Wah, wah.
What is a shady category that you would add to Miss USA? There's Miss Congeniality. What's like a shady category that you would add?
Oh, Miss Naughty.
Oh.
Miss Night Before the pageant.
Are there any pictures of you anywhere?
What?
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No?
Stan.
Scandalous.
Sorry. Next question.
Stan knows how to get the ratings up.
There you go.
Stan knows.
So that's a yes. Next question.
Tasha, being in the pageant world, what is the worst fashion trend that you've fallen victim to?
Oh, I plucked my eyebrow. They're now growing back. Thank you very much. But I did the whole if you ever saw Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz,
Yes.
they're a little bit far and a little bit thin. That's the worst one.
What is a guilty food pleasure we'd be surprised that you binge on?
Oh, I don't know if you're surprised by it, but I freaking love pizza. I'll eat it
Yeah, I don't
every day
believe
of the
it.
week. It's true.
Gluten-free pizza?
No, not at all.
Cauliflower. Crust.
If you were judging a Mr. USA pageant, what would be the top 3 things that you would look for in a Mr. USA?
Confidence and humor and sexy eyes.
That's me. I
like that.
Exactly. I'm looking at you, Stan Zimmerman.
Exactly.
Tasha, where can our viewers and listeners find you?
Well, all my social media is at Real Tasha Dixon, REAL Tasha Dixon. And I have a website, tashadixon.com.
Love it. All right, who's next?
Really?
I'll go.
M.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we call him M.
M.
Yes.
I like
M.
that.
Yeah,
we
I
do
like
too.
it too. Stan calls me M.
All
Not too
the
many people
time.
do it, but it sounds
You
really
told
good.
me to.
It sounds really good when he does
Well,
it.
I just have to tell you the truth. He probably forgot your full name.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey.
White Jewish man he can't speak Latino names.
I have a couple times.
He's speaking in Spanish.
Yeah.
M. Who would be your dream co-star? And don't say Meryl Streep.
A dream co-star? Dream co-star.
Keith Coogan.
I love Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting.
I love Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's retired, so probably not going to happen.
He'll bring him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring him back.
A male actor that you would be okay having an on-screen kiss with.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Ew.
Not the first guy that
Okay.
comes up on the
No.
list.
I feel like his breath would be bad.
All right.
Such a good question.
Shamar Moore.
Oh.
Right? It's not bad, right?
That's a good
It's not
one.
bad.
I know what I'm
Okay.
doing tonight.
Yeah.
What would your superhero power be?
Superhero power. Feed the homeless.
Oh.
I'm gonna
That's
I've
Mr.
never
Mr.
heard that.
America
Yeah,
right here.
Mr. America.
Wow.
What is the one Latin tradition you just don't get? You don't understand. You're just
A
like,
Latin tradition I don't get.
Or- yeah.
Well, I didn't grow up with Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
I didn't grow up with that culture. And after seeing Coco, which is my second favorite Disney movie, after Lion King, I have to give Lion King all the props. After seeing Coco, I told my wife, I said, we need to adopt this. Even though it's my culture, I don't know anything about Dia de los Muertos. So that is something I never got growing up. But it's probably because it was just never passed on to me.
Yeah.
So that
I
would
love
be,
that answer.
That would be my tradition.
What is your guilty pleasure in regards to TV watching?
A guilty pleasure? Mm-hmm. I don't feel bad about liking this show. Friends. I love Friends.
Oh my God, that's an awful show.
Is that an awful show?
Yes, it's awful.
See? Well, then there it is. Then
Talk about a show that doesn't age. Like because when I was growing up, everybody was going crazy for Friends, and
I love it. I love watching Friends. I can never get enough of it. It doesn't matter if I've already seen it. The reruns, I watch them.
all right. And where can our listeners find you?
Oh, actor Emiliano Torres on all social media platforms.
I love it. Okay, Raquenel. Okay,
No, come on. You can do it.
who would your dream duet be with?
Huh?
Like your dream duet. What singer would love to sing?
Stevie Wonder, definitely. Stevie Wonder, I love you so much.
That'd be a very interesting
It would
voice
be
combo.
great, yeah, I like that.
Over time, I love him.
Well, he probably would
He's
love
a
you.
genius. Oh,
Oh,
man.
I wish I could tell the story, but I can't.
Oh.
Let's just say
You
he
know
has
what?
stalked people, and a blind man stalking somebody is pretty funny.
Who'd he stalk?
I cannot go into
Come on.
detail. No, I can't.
Initials.
Could you? I mean,
It was somebody that he had dated, and he actually had a LoJack installed on her car so he could stalk her. I was like, how does a blind man stalk? Well, he did. What is your ritual after like a concert performance? What's what's your personal ritual when you get home?
it's tough because I definitely cannot sleep.
Right, because there's that energy.
Yeah, I'm still like, so maybe I have to take 5 ibuprofen PM. Something like that.
How many?
Great, she's a
5.
junkie.
5?
No, just one.
Half would put me out.
No, yeah, but it's difficult for me. Yeah. But definitely, please. I mean, this is for any man who's interested in date with me or something. After a concert, please do not take me to go to a concert because I've just given a concert. Yeah, thank you so much.
Like maybe like a massage.
Yeah,
would be good.
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, massage.
Nice
and-
foot massage.
I mean, yes, please.
I don't like
thank
my
you.
feet touched.
Really?
I hate
Neither
it.
do
Oh,
I.
I
Neither do
love
I.
I hate it so
Neither
much.
do
I wear socks for everything I do. I don't know
Really?
if that makes Yeah.
Okay.
That's weird.
I don't want.
I'm sorry.
Weird.
No, he can touch everything.
Whoa.
No, because I need some rest. I mean,
Yes.
you misunderstood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question.
What would your American Idol audition song be?
My American Idol
Audition
audition.
song. What's your go-to song?
And I will always love you.
She can pull it off.
Yes,
I
girl.
love that song, and I loved Whitney Houston. Yes, in this.
Now, Raquenel, I know you've been on so many red carpets in the U.S., in foreign markets. What is the craziest question you've ever been asked on the red carpet?
Who's your designer, or why you're? I don't even remember. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm so sorry. I don't like red carpets.
Yeah.
Because red carpets are not made for you to have fun or to be comfortable in. Red carpets are made to please others.
But it's good
or
PR,
to be
though.
criticized.
Like, you have to. I hate doing them too.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. I'm sorry. I don't get it.
Yeah. Okay.
But okay. Thank you. Bye.
Red carpets are red
I
for
said
the
it. Did I
blood
say
of the
it?
actors.
No, I mean, please invite me to the
As many red carpets as
I hate them, but invite me.
Yeah, no, I don't hate them, but
Yeah.
when I do,
I know what you get. Like you have to like perform on the red
Yeah,
carpet.
you
can't
like to
just
be like,
enjoy it. Yeah.
like to keep the breath.
And you do
then-
one weird look, and that's what they capture and put everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe at that moment you wanted to sneeze or to cough or something
Yeah.
or whatever.
Or drink a little.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then they took a photo and what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is one type of film or TV genre that challenges you the most?
In every single way. I don't remember the name, but with Morgan Freeman's and Jack Nicholson.
Bucket list.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In every single way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where can our viewers and listeners find you?
Raquenel Oficial.
Can you spell that?
How many R's is that?
7.
The more Latino, the more ours.
What did I do?
At RAQUENEL OFICIAL.
Yes.
Raquenel Oficial.
And please download Raquenel's music. You keep putting
thank
us
you.
singles out, and I'm enraptured every single time. You have
Thank you.
such a passion in your voice that is very sincere, which I love.
Thank you so much. I have passion for life. Thank
Yes.
you.
All right, Mr. Stan Zimmerman.
Oh, here we go.
Are you ready?
Ta-ta-ta-tam.
You have to recast B. Arthur in Golden Girls season 1. Who do you recast her with?
Oh, Jesus. Shirley MacLaine?
I love her.
Okay.
This is actually from the internet.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure for your watching TV. Like, what is it that Stan Zimmerman watches?
I don't have a lot of time to watch, but I do like America's Next Top Model.
That is a guilty
That
pleasure.
is-
That is it. That is.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
can
good.
a lot of
smize.
love.
That is guilty.
I like smizing.
Yeah.
Smize.
She's like in season 622.
500,
Yeah. That's very interesting. I never would have guessed that from you.
Okay.
Oh, I find out something new about you all the time. Would you write/direct Roseanne's comeback role?
Wow. Was that your question? Or okay, that's a very good question. I always believe that people can change and have redemption, and so I think she has a lot of God-given gifts, but I would like to see her acknowledge everything that's gone in the past to move forward.
So I think that's a yes.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Dream star you haven't worked with yet.
Well, it's going to be obvious, but Meryl Streep.
Don't say Meryl Streep.
Okay, don't say Meryl Streep.
Why?
Allison Janney.
Oh,
Nice.
I love her.
You guys
I
would make
made.
such.
I know. I made her laugh at a party once, and I was like, I can go home now.
Aw.
Like, I think she's just so brilliant and wonderful,
Yes, she
and,
is.
and so talented and so giving, and she just loves to work. So she needs to work
She's
with
so
me.
nice, and she's a
Yes.
huge supporter of LGBT.
Yes, everything about her.
My mom has her picture with Allison Janney on her Instagram, and I have no pictures with my mom on her Instagram. Best memory from working on Gilmore Girls. This is actually from the internet.
Well, Alan's here, so I should say writing for Alan. There's so many.
Just one that you're like, oh.
A crazy one. Alexis Bledel literally picking me up and carrying me around the room, and she's like 80 pounds.
She literally is 80 pounds.
Picked me up, and people said, "Oh no, she'll never talk to you." And yeah, but I mean, Lauren Graham, I love. So.
Alex on *Handmaid's Tale* is just it's
so cool
blew
that she
my
is doing
mind,
all that. Yes.
her performance. Stan, where can our viewers and listeners find you? And also, please tell us
ZimmermanStan.com.
Yes, which
there
is a
you
great
go.
website.
Thank you.
Also, how can we buy tickets? Where can we see the
brownpapertickets.com. Opening night is sold out, so we only have very, very, very limited tickets. September 7th through 23rd. Only 11 shows. But please come support us. If there's anybody out there that want to help us move the show to another venue, to keep it going, to move to another
nationwide,
city.
by the way. Yeah.
Yes, we want to get to Chicago, New York. There's so many cities that need to learn the story of Anne Frank, and we want to bring it to them.
Thank you guys.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much. What a fun conversation
Thank
about
you.
a serious topic.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing the show together. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Kurt, thank you for getting a haircut.
About time.
Yeah. Next week we are playing a replay because I will be in New York for Fashion Week. So we will see you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Hasta luego.
Adios.
This has been On the Rocks with Alexander, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on the Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On the Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday.